Hello, good evening, and welcome to Monkeys with Fire. How is everybody tonight? Hope you're all well. Hope you had a good weekend. So then, we are starting a couple of shows tonight, taking a look at some brand new Games Master supplements for a game that we took a look at a couple of years ago now. And I believe that it won an award at the UK Games Expo on the year of its release. And that is, of course, the Old Gods of Appalachia from Monty Cook Games. This is a game that is based on a very popular podcast, a narrative story over many episodes. I started the first season and thoroughly enjoyed the story. I've got to get back into it, but of course, so many things happen in life, don't they? But this maybe is the way to get me started again, because this is, as I say, a supplement for the Games Master, and in fact, it's one of two supplements that we'll be taking a look at. The other one we will take a look at on Friday evening. So my thanks, of course, to Monty Cook Games for providing a copy of All Your Gods Are Dead. What a great title. So what have we got here? We got new GM tools, rules and advice, cursed artifacts and powerful cyphers, and rules for rituals, possessions and dread. Yeah, lots of new additional elements to enhance your games of the Old Gods of Appalachia. So, looking forward to this. I guess we'll put up the spoiler sign for this show. Obviously, this is a Games Master facing book, so if you are a player, you probably want to tap out. You don't want any of these elements ruined, do you? You want to, of course, experience them fresh in your game. So, yeah, more for the Games Masters than it is for the players this evening. Sorry guys, but you have been warned if you continue to watch. Good evening, Roger. Thank you for joining us this evening. How are you? Hope you're well. Right, let's go to the table and take a look at the book. So, we are going to be looking at the All Your Gods Are Dead. As you can see, what a great looking cover to this particular book. We're also going to be taking a look at Dig Your Own Grave. That is going to be the show on Friday night. So do tune in then to be able to check it out. But we'll put that to one side for now. And let's take a look at this one just here. All Your Gods Are Dead. This is really awesome cover art. I really like it. I particularly like the fact of that the eyes. Yeah, that's really good. I like that. That's a lot of fun. Okay, let's read the text on the back. So, All Your Gods Are Dead is designed specifically for the Old Gods of Appalachia Games Master. It's chocked full of kinds of entities and items you love to put in your games, creatures of great promise and power, an array of non-player characters who your players will love to love and possibly grow to hate, and cursed artifacts that promise powerful magic at a powerful cost. Additional optional rules and GM advice make it easy to provide your players with the darkest, scariest Old Gods of Appalachia experience at the table. If you're ready to go deeper into alternate Appalachia, this supplement will take your hand and guide you through the dark woods. And better this book than, say, pretty much anything else you might find out there in the shadowed hills and hollers. Inside this book you'll find inspiring and useful tips and advice for running Old Gods of Appalachia games, useful whether you're brand new to gaming or an experienced pro. New ciphers and artifacts, including cursed objects, which can provide players with powerful magic, but always at a cost. New optional rules for elements like rituals, possessions, and poor choices to increase the sense of dread, horror, and danger your players will feel at the table. GM intrusions designed to match up with elements like the green, the inner dark, and the natural world. Powerful, intriguing creatures and NPCs to surprise, delight, and terrify your players. So as it says, a supplement for the Old Gods of Appalachia role-playing game, and it requires the core book for play. Alright. Let's take a look through. Again, I think this cover is fantastic. Really, really good. How are you doing, Roger? All well? Are you ready to be terrified? So, what do we have? We have an introduction. What gods are these? Chapter 1, Jack's Fate, Cipher Rules for Old Gods. Chapter 2, A Closed Door, Slightly Ajar, Tips for Running Horror. Chapter 3, Small Workings, Ciphers. Chapter 4, What Comes Due, Artifacts. And Chapter 5, The Monstrous, the Brutal, and the Haunting, Creatures. I like these nice sort of flavour chapter titles, and then of course just telling us exactly what that chapter entails. I like that, that's cool. So effectively, something about Jack, so cipher rules for Old Gods. We're going to have tips for running horror, new ciphers, new artifacts, and new creatures. Alright, sounds good. So we're having a bit of an introduction. Essentially, it's just giving us a summary of what we have just learnt. I like that, of course, with all the Monty Cook games books that we've taken a look at, we've always got this sort of sidebar area where it gives you links to points of reference in different pages, be that in this particular book or in the core rulebook. If you get the PDF version of these books, then these work as sort of hyperlinks, so you can sort of quickly move your way around the book itself, which is really useful. But then also is this little icon here. It's an old time sort of wireless, and this is where they highlight quotes from the podcast. So if you are a fan of the podcast, then you're going to have a sort of direct link to that. And that's, again, we always talk about this, don't we, with any role-playing game. If it is based on a property that you are a fan of, be that Star Wars or Star Trek or, oh gosh, Cthulhu, I guess. But, you know, the movies or the TV shows, or in this case, the podcast, these are role-playing games are a great source to be able to delve deeper into what you love. So be prepared that there are spoilers, to which I will actually put up the spoiler sign. Nice reminder there, because we will start sort of hitting on elements that players might not want to see. So what have we got here? So Old Gods, All Your Gods Are Dead is designed specifically for the Old Gods of Appalachia Games Master. Yep. Stuff with suggestions for running horror games, from additional ways to utilise the existing cipher system, such as the What Makes mode, to add suspect and atmosphere to using the newly designed Jack's Fate rule. I feel like I want to know what Jack's Fate is. The book also features a slew of new ciphers, artifacts, and creatures to add to your game. Will your characters find the willpower not to use that item once they learn the potential consequences? Oh, so it's a little bit like Monkey Paw sort of elements, isn't it? That you get a boon, but there is always a cost to it. That's kind of cool. I like that. So let's have a look. Jack's Fate. So cipher rules for the Old Gods. So there are many ways to use cipher system rules to enhance the sense of horror and suspense in Old Gods of Appalachia. Some of them, such as What Wakes mode, are already outlined in the core rulebook. So here we go. Others, such as Jack's Fate, are designed more to be discovered by the characters as they go along, and the sense of surprise and mystery is part of what makes them work so well. Okay, let's find out what is Jack's Fate. But we have details here on this What Wakes mode. So, of course, this is in the core rulebook. It's been a while since I've looked, so I probably I'm a little bit sketchy on this. So, What Wakes mode, as outlined in the core rulebook, is a simple way to add a slow burn, long-term feeling of tension in your game. You can further enhance this optional rule by grounding it in the world even more. The following are some suggestions on when and how to use. Okay, so introduce a soothsayer, a fortune teller, or other powerful being. That's interesting. Have them interact with a being of the green, the inner dark, or other. A creature that the PCs interact with warns them that they are messing with dangerous things far beyond their understanding. Depending on the creature, they might attempt to discourage the character from continuing on their current path. Okay, so these are all interesting sort of ideas on how to sort of build that dread, isn't it? But keep the PCs from resting. The intrusion range from What Wakes mode resets after the PCs take a long rest. But what happens if the rest gets interrupted? Using a GM intrusion to pull the characters from their slumber is a great way to keep the pressure on. Yeah, this is best used sparingly, indeed. Use the PC's abilities and gifts. If a PC has an ability that ties into this concept, you can give them the opportunity to be one who senses trouble coming. Give them a glimpse. What's coming with the PCs should never be clear-cut or easy for the characters to grasp, but you can give them a glimpse of what's to come. What's that? Is it signs and portents? Is that the phrase? So here we go. This is the Jack's Fate. Jack's Fate is a new optional rule designed to connect the PCs with one of the most influential and important characters in the setting. Now, I don't know who Jack is. But, okay. As well as to further strengthen some of the themes that swirl about the game. The idea that bargains and deals can be made for almost anything. But all of them have a cost. That cost is almost never what you expect. So he's a little bit the sort of the monkey paw in himself, isn't he? Jack's Fate is a slow burn rule best used for long-term campaigns. It typically has 3 phases. So, well, hello there. Introduce the PCs to Jack. Ideally, the first time Jack is introduced, it sets a foundation for his presence in the world and in the story. What a deal! This time the players interact directly with Jack. This may purposefully or accidentally get his attention, such as using one of his artifacts. Alternatively, Jack could actively seek out the players for some reason. Is he offering free chances of help? Yeah, for whatever reason, for their encounter, at some point Jack offers a deal to the PCs. The deal typically works like this. The players get free opportunities to call upon Jack's help when they're in need in the future. Oh, this is kind of cool. I like this. He promises to answer each time, although, to be fair, asking for Jack's help is a bit like wishing on a monkey's paw. Yeah, you're never entirely sure what form that help will come in. When that's done, Jack gets to call on them for assistance in return. Oh, this is where it's going to be terrible, isn't it? So, your turn now. Once the characters use their free help opportunities, They are in Jack's debt. That's cool. I'm liking that. Oh, Jack's fate pendant. I'm assuming that's an artifact. Again, I really like all the artwork that we see throughout the book. So rituals. Rituals are another optional way to imbue a game with magic and power. Give the characters a sense of being able to make big changes in the world around them. So we have required items, and then actually performing a ritual. This is actually really cool. This is a lot of additional elements to really sort of add more depth to your games of Old Gods of Appalachia. Possession. There are many creatures in the world that can possess others, taking over their body and mind for a certain amount of time. That's cool. Poor choices. One of the important things about horror is how the characters react. While some characters might step up to whatever horrific thing is coming their way, just as many are likely to run, scream, or worse, do themselves something that is absolutely opposite of keeping themselves safe. Yes, that is essentially any cast member in any of the Alien games, isn't it? Or Alien movies. Always lots and lots of poor decisions being made. So this is cool. Poor choice intrusions. The following are examples of GM intrusions to use with the poor choices optional rule. Let's pick one. Are you with us, Roger? Are you going to generate some numbers for us? The character freezes when they hear something dangerous behind them. The character befriends a shady or outright scary looking stranger. Let's have a number 1 to 3 and then 1 to 20, please. I'm making an assumption that we've probably got a list of about 60 different intrusions here. So let's have some random choices. Three and 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It'll be 12 then. So a character doesn't call the local authorities for help when you hear something dangerous. A character investigates a strange noise on their own. That's typical, isn't it? 2 or more characters sneak off to have sex. That's typical of all horror movies. There's always someone doing that. Okay, that's cool. So we got more detail on GM intrusions, magic-based intrusions. Intrusions of the green, intrusions of the inner dark. I guess this will be based on the content in the podcast. Yeah, I was taking a guess, Roger. I thought there might be about 20 in each of those. So I'm a little bit short on that. We were close, though. We were close. Company intrusions. The company has sent someone or multiple someones out to deal with, grab, talk to, or otherwise interfere with someone they wrongly believe is the character is that person. Okay. Health intrusions. Somebody nearby suddenly gets very sick. If the character fails a speed defense roll, the person vomits on them. Ooh, nice. There's a lot here, isn't there? Natural world intrusions, combat intrusions. social. This is, I mean, again, you know, I suppose, you know, most role players or games masters probably have more than one system on their bookshelf. I can well imagine that a lot of this would work with other games. This is something that I really enjoy with the Monty Cook games books, is that they are a great resource not only for the game that they are featuring, but for other games as well. I love the creativity that they put into their books. So this is great. It's really good. Okay, so yeah, so there's a lot of new sort of rules there that we could incorporate. So now it's focusing in more on how to run a horror game, and this now is very much the case of this is great for Old Gods, but could be used for any other game system where you want to play a horror themed, be it a mission or story or campaign. This is great advice. So all of this is valid, isn't it? As we've covered this multiple times with some of the horror games that we've looked at, and also the White Book supplement from Monty Cook Games that deals with horror. But in fact, actually, this is good advice for any game that you might run, is planning a session 0 where you'll spend your time creating your characters, but also just making sure that everybody around the table is going to be comfortable with the content that you are going to sort of share with them. There are various sort of consent and safety tools that are available. Monty Cook Games do a bit of a form that you can fill out. You know, having a conversation with your players, just making sure that, you know, you kind of don't want to spoil anything, because sometimes people want to be slightly uncomfortable, because that's the whole point of a horror sort of scenario, isn't it? But not to the point where they are really not enjoying the experience. So it's important that you sort of do talk to your players, make sure that everyone's going to enjoy. Rogie is saying, I like the books too. In fact, they're a great reference and idea generator for any game. Yeah, they are indeed, aren't they? So yes, this is talking mostly about the consent and safety tools. And then we have just got a really good beginner's guide to how to create a sense of dread within a sort of horror story. This is brilliant. This is really good. Of course, this is written from the perspective of the Old Gods of Appalachia, but as we've discovered, you could probably manipulate this for other games, and even though it's brand new text, but it does remind me, of course, of their cipher system specific horror supplement book. I keep on forgetting what the name is. We've taken a look at it. It's one of their white books. You have to just go and check the video library of the channel. So yeah, we've got lots of great advice here. Dead doesn't always mean dead. You can always bring a character back if you don't see a body. So maybe sometimes you do see a body and still they come back. Okay, so it's a slightly shorter version. It's enough to get you thinking. I would actually say that to go along with Old Gods, it probably is worth picking up that horror book. There's a lot of value to be had in that. Okay, so small workings, cyphers. Cyphers are small, one-use items that characters gain over the course of play. In Old Gods, most cyphers are considered to be folk or granny magic, something handcrafted from a combination of household items, supernatural workings, and bits of the natural world to provide a small amount of power or magic. So, come on then, Roger, give me a number between 1 and 100. We can do this one. We've got real numbers now. What type of cipher are we going to take a look at? So ciphers are designed to be used, so be sure to make them plentiful and easy to find. 47 growth seeds. And yes, indeed. So we have our 100 ciphers, and then we have all of the descriptions and the rules. Let's find out what a growth seed is. Three pokeberry seed pellets, cured for 3 days in the noontime sun. So, use. Plant the seed pellets in a triangular shape within immediate distance of a food-producing plant of some kind. Within a day, the plant will fully mature and produce food. So a pumpkin vine would have pumpkins on it, an apple tree would produce mature apples, and so on. The plant will produce a number of food items equal to the cipher level, and all of them are either nutritious or poisonous. Roll d6 to see whether the plants are nutritious or poisonous. Okay, so yeah, we're definitely getting that sort of monkey paw element here. At least it's 1 to 4, it's nutritious, 5 to 6 poisonous. You want to go for a 5? Okay, let's find out what that is. Armour of Old Scratch. Interesting. This is a hand-knitted scarf made from yarn spun during May Day festivities. Wrap the scarf around your neck, waist, or other body part while saying, "Old Scratch, protect me." The scarf protects you, absorbing a number of points of damage against you equal to the cipher level. Once the scarf has absorbed that amount of damage, it unravels. That's a kind of cool one. The armour of Old Scratch. Who was Scratch? And how old was they? Okay, that's cool. I like this. We got lots of call-outs in the margin here. So we've got 100 ciphers. So we move on then to artifacts. Artifacts are rare objects that may grant a user a supernatural boon. Unlike one-use ciphers, most artifacts can be used multiple times. They are also usually more potent than ciphers, have a backstory and provenance, and may confer repercussions to a user when one comes due. Oh, here we go. This is even better now. Okay. Oh, okay. So we've got our come due effects table and costs. Let's find out. Let's pick an artifact to start off with, and then let's find out what happens once we've used it. So again, Roger, if you please, a number between 1 and 100. Somewhere in the middle, I guess. Some good ones here by the name. 78. Good choice. Sacred Hymnal. Let's go with that. So 78. Right. Hymnal, yes. A leather-bound hymnal tome. Contains a couple dozen songs of worship. Ah, okay. So yeah, so it's a hymn book, isn't it? Yeah. I've just never heard the name hymnal. So there we go. So after you sing a song, oh, that's even better. From the hymnal, which takes a few minutes, you can attempt a difficulty 4 singing task. On a success, you can shed one curse, repercussion of a bargain you made, or malign influence affecting you or a target that can hear your song. The level of the malign effect must also be equal to or level than the sacred hymnal's level. If you fail the task, whatever entity or individual that conferred the curse, made the bargain, or otherwise instigated the influence immediately becomes aware of you and, if it has the ability to do so, travels to your location as swiftly as it can to call you to account. That's cool. I like the idea of making my players sing. That'd be quite good. So let's find out then. Can we have, so our come due effects, a number between 1 and 20, please? Let's find out what happens. Yeah, so in addition to no longer working, some artifacts have unusual effects the moment they come due, such as causing the exact opposite of what was expected or supposed to happen. We'll need another number as well, please, Roger. So 12. This is the come due effect. The artifact destroys 1d6 cyphers within immediate range. Wow, okay. So once you've done all of your hymns, then any cyphers that you might have might be destroyed. But now we're going to find out what else happens. Seven. Travel to a specific place of power and sacrifice something very meaningful to you whilst there. That's the cost. Yeah, I like this. This is a cool addition. And again, so we got 100 different artifacts. We got a gilded wishbone, a ghostly steed, the kitchen ghost. We got some Jack's cards and Jack's satchel. A nice rifle there. Wolf Boy's banjo. Oh yes! An elegant banjo with a mother of pearl inlay and a single long scratch across the back of it. Playing the banjo alone without accompaniment for at least 2 songs gives you +1 armor, even against attacks that would normally ignore armor, for the next hour per artifact level. If you play the banjo with live musical accompaniment of any sort, such as a band, a choir, someone else with a guitar, a campfire, so on, for at least 2 songs, up to 5 allies you choose gain the banjo's benefit. The come due is 1 in 1d6 checks after each use. After that, it works as a regular banjo. That's cool. I'm liking that. Okay, chapter 5. So, creatures. The creatures and NPCs in this chapter provide additional options for the haints, spirits, and other revenants beyond those listed in the Old Gods of Appalachia core book. So this is sort of an addition to the bestiary, isn't it, I guess? But we have some more NPCs as well. Creatures, the Forgotten One, the Grave Kin, Night Folk, The taxman. Oh, we all fear the taxman. And then we have some wild animals as well. We got bears and cicadas and crayfish, red squirrels. All right, let's see what we got. I guess if you've listened to the podcast, then many of these will be featured within. So unfortunately, I'm not going to recognise these. I assume that these will have been in later seasons of the show. The Birdman. Oh, the Chester Witch. The Chester Witch, who has another even more powerful name that she has buried somewhere so deep that even she cannot remember where she put it, is all shoulders and muscles, with the body of someone who looks like she does manual labour for much of her days. Which is exactly what she does. She hews wood and melts metal and mines for stones. The taxman is up there with the boogeyman. We're going to have to look at the taxman, aren't we? We got the Flim Flam Man. Is this you know, snake oil salesman? The False King. Heart in Hand. Night Folk. There's the taxman. There he is. There he is. It's after midnight and someone's knocking. The pounding doesn't let up until dawn, or when someone finally opens the door and faces the taxman. His grey suit is rumpled, his long coat colourless and ragged, and the brim of his battered grey fedora casts his features into shadow. His voice, cold as ice, makes his purpose plain. I've come for what's due. The taxman isn't an agent of the government looking for a percentage, but rather a collector of unpaid debts, born of desperation and grief. A couple who once promised a witch their firstborn if she cured a crippling disease, then fled instead of paying, may one day face the taxman. A fisherwoman who pledged her right arm to anything that would glisten in return for a mighty catch eventually hears late-night knocking. A dog who vowed years of her life if she could just find her way home to her owners might find it's the taxman that comes for what's due. That's cool. I like it. The taxman sometimes carefully explains what it is he is owed, and other times leaves it to his targets to figure it out, especially if the debt is egregious. Yep. That's a really, really cool creature. We've got some fearful sort of Ents. And that then pretty much brings us to the end. So this is really cool. I really like this. This is a great supplement to Old Gods of Appalachia. I like how it's broken down into the different areas, so it's very easy to find what you're looking for. There's a good selection to each of the sort of cyphers, to the artifacts, to the different creatures, to the various GM intrusions, broken down into the different sort of types, and there's just plenty of choices. So you can keep on sort of dipping into this book to bring out a brand new, fresh element to your players. If you've obviously already sort of exhausted everything that's within the core rulebook, this can just obviously breathe new life into your games. So I think this is definitely a worthwhile addition to your Old Gods of Appalachia sort of library. Yeah, great. I like it. So, as I said at the beginning of the show, we will be taking a look at the other supplement that they have released, which is Dig Your Own Grave. So this is focused more on characters. So there's a choose your own path background to your character. There's brand new descriptors, foci, and player intrusions, and then more tools for creating richer stories. So I'm going to look forward to taking a look through that book on Friday night. Hopefully you'll be able to join me. What did you think, Roger? Did you like this book? Did it sort of help your sort of creativity to enhance your games of Old Gods of Appalachia? I think I really like the artwork throughout it. I think it looks really, really good. I think this cover's brilliant. I'm definitely a big fan of this. So, hopefully you'll be able to join me on Friday night for the second part. If you do have any questions about All Your Gods Are Dead, please leave a comment on the video and I will do my best to answer as quickly as possible. I guess that leaves us to wait until Friday when we do the follow-up. So until then, have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you Friday night. Bye for now.